being close to the animals physically allow us to know more about the sound they produce, to know more about their behavior. And these are important points when it's time to assess how many animals we have around, what would be the problem in the near future when we have this system.
We need to take pictures of the members, so we need to be very close to them. And we take a picture of the tail fluke, which is like a fingerprint. We also record the specific sounds. So we're trying to match this picture with the sounds they are making. So we have a precise idea of who was at the moment in the area.
Each coloured dot refers to a specific sperm whale. This sophisticated software then turns the sounds into a map of the pod of whales. Not only do they have to decipher the different sounds of the whales and then locate them, there is another even more complicated problem. Sometimes whales are silent, and these non-vocalizing whales have to be tracked too.
Sometimes non-vocalizing whales are a danger. So my part of the work here is not only to localize vocalizing whales, but also to vocalize non-vocalizing whales.
Eric uses the same system the whales use of echolocation to find the silent ones. He can monitor and decipher sound frequencies that come from whales and ships. But he can also monitor reflected sounds off other objects in the water. In this way, he can locate the silent whales too. All this knowledge means that when the next whale is killed or injured, the team will know which group or pod the animal belonged to and how the pod will be affected.
This would help to get more information on this species that we ever had.
Back at base, armed with this software and the data it provides, the monitoring of the whales for future conservation is assured. But it was also crucial for their quest to find the solution to the problem of collisions. With this, Michel and his team set up an innovative project called WAX, a passive sonar system. It's a new way of tackling the problem and takes them into unknown territory. No passive system has been attempted before. For the first time ever, the scientists want to warn the boats about the whales rather than try to move the whales out of the way of the boats.
This system is called WAX, for Whale Anti-Collision System. That means that we are trying to set up a system which will alert the presence of these whales to any boat cruising in the area. And this is a great advantage because this system will be absolutely passive, so it won't put any sound in the area. It will just gather the sound already existing.
The main problem with the other systems is including an extra sound, an extra problem in the sea. So in this way, in the passive system, we are not adding more problems to the hearing already existing.
The team have a theory of how the project will work, but putting it into practice is the next step.
So the idea of this project is to put an ear in the area, a permanent ear, so we can be aware of the presence of any individual whale at any time.
El saber si eso es posible es la respuesta que tendrá que dar el proyecto.
The project should give us the answer as to whether this is possible. It should answer questions of how to build a corridor across an important stretch of water, without the technology being destroyed by the sea. The ocean destroys anything you build in it, and maintenance is quite difficult. So we need the project to answer this question.
Por tanto, esa es una de las respuestas que tendrá que darnos.
The team think they have the answer. It entails the creation of a permanent monitoring system between the islands of Tenerife and Gran Canaria, through a series of listening devices in the form of buoys in the sea.
This project consists of putting fixed buoys on the route of those ferries. They will act like permanent receptors, which will be getting the sounds in the area. Then there will be a specific software which will analyze it and give the position to any ship in the area.
This will create a safe shipping corridor between the islands. The information is sent from the buoy to a beacon on land, and then transmitted to ships in the area who have a receiver on board, so they can divert their route to avoid the collision. Although the ferry companies support the scientists' work in principle, in reality, funding has been very difficult to find. The lack of funding has hindered the team, so it has taken them 10 years to get to this point.
We were facing a lot of problems of funding. It's difficult to convince the local authority and the ferries to be involved in a solution which is like a pioneering a solution. So it costs us a lot to convince them, and I think that we lost a lot of time in the past years because of funding.
Finally, in 2002, Michel Andre won a Rolex Award for Enterprise, giving him the finances to build the prototype for the wax system and turn the theory into practice.
This award is the opportunity to finish this prototype and to show the local authority and the ferries too that this system is worth implementing in the area.
Getting the prototype up and running could have many positive effects in the Canaries and beyond. The crisis of tourism versus nature is worldwide, and the problem of collisions is becoming a global one.
This project is important because it not only affects the whales in this area of the Canary Islands. We are experiencing the same kind of problem in other regions. We are seeing that they are having the same number of collisions we were getting 10 years ago, and they are starting to be worried about that.
If Michel's prototype works and is taken on by the authorities, he may be able to prevent the escalation of collisions all around the world. In the Canaries, it will mean the ferry companies can keep their high-speed lines between the islands. Thanks to Michel and his team, the unique territory of the waters around the islands will be protected, leaving the whales free to live in their natural environment, without the threat of more deaths.
What I do hope for this project is that we'll be able to convince the local authorities and the private companies that the system is really mandatory to be implemented in the area. This is something we need to do now. We don't have time to wait.
Maritime traffic will continue to increase, but with this system, places with intensive shipping, such as Japan, the United States and Northern Europe, may also be able to protect their whale populations. The implications of Michel Andre's work are huge. It is a step towards the recognition of the need to balance man and nature.